Hello, what is going on, good people? Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Good to have you here tonight. Well, for this evening for myself, a little early evening-ish, about 4 o'clock here, Texas time. I know it's out late for some of you. Geez, Dougal McTavish, I didn't expect to see you up this late, my friend. What is it, like almost midnight where you are? Man, glad to have you here, man. Hope you're doing well. Check out the SimWings group flight, which I believe is this Saturday, right, Dougal? So if you guys aren't doing anything, make sure you check out the link. Dougal McTavish has it there. You'll see the SimWings going through the chat. Good to see you, bud. Carta Joel, what's going on, man? Good to see you here. Carta Joel, those engines are absolutely nuts, dude. I'm seeing those previews that you keep posting. I cannot wait for those. Those are, I mean, if I had to pick, I love Neos, but if I had to pick a Neo, I'm definitely a Pratt & Whitney fan. Over the Leap, but nonetheless, I'm looking forward to that Neo you got coming out there, man. I love that Pratt & Whitney. So, Christian, what's going on, man? Flying Guitar Sam, what's up? Jeremy Harvey in the house. Jeremy, flying your bird tonight, man. IXEG 733, Dimitri, Minty Aviation, Alex K, Jump and Run, Philip, Avgeek, Captain K, Roberts. What is up, guys? 1 a.m. where you are, Spencer Phillips. Woo! You guys are hardcore. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's been a busy day out here in Texas for me, so figured kick back, pour myself a bourbon, and let's get in this IXEG bird. Look at that. There's my baby right there. Nice 320 sitting over there in the gate next to me. It's a sign. But I've been wanting to fly this airplane since the version 1.3 came out. I know a couple of you guys have been asking me to fly it. Now 1.31 is also out, but it's had some stability issues. So I'm rocking the OG 1.3, but I haven't done a full flight yet. So I'm curious to see what these sounds are like. Those airport sounds, ambient airport sounds you hear going over the top. That's XP Realistic going in the background there. Kind of cool. Depends if that's your thing or not. I'm actually enjoying XP Realistic, not so much for the tube liners, but specifically for light GA aircraft, piston engines, turboprops, things like that. I am tweaking my Airbus profiles for you. I think after I'm probably going to do one more stream with it, and then I'll be able to release my Airbus profiles for you guys. They're pretty much all the same, except the 319 is going to have a little bit more rattle in it. But, I mean, in real life, I mean, when you start up engines, you're sitting there, the cockpit's not shaking. It's really not shaking. If it's shaking, you got problems. So, XP Realistic, I love it. I think it's definitely geared more towards general aviation aircraft than airliners, but it does add some cool enhancements like the airport sounds you hear in the background. And these engines, we're just going to have to we're going to jump right into it and look at these fan blades. Wow, that's Carta-esque right there. That's Carta-esque. Look at the engine work. I'm excited. I'm excited to fly this airplane. It was one of my favorites for a while on the Boeing side of things. And one of my favorite X-Plane add-ons to have. So let's just get right to it, guys. Let's get right to it. Concord EAC, greetings, man. What's going on? Firefighter McCall, what's up, dude? Good to see you here from Nigeria. Gideon, nice to see you, man. Man, all over the world tuning in. Juan Pina having the same drink, same drink with you, my friend. Here we go. Cheers to you. We are on the Pilot Edge Network, so hopefully it's not. Doesn't come back to bite us here. We'll have a little bit of bourbon. But right now I got the airplane sitting on ground power. So we're just going to let it roll with that. I had it on ground power and the ADIRs are in align mode. So we're pretty much just going to go ahead and get everything else going here. I'm going to get the APU fired up right away because a little bit toasty out there. Also, I need to take 14K of fuel. So we need to get that going. I want to see this realistic speed here on the fuel. Let's see, 14, realistic refuel. That should be good there. And our APU is spooling up. Let's listen to these sounds. So, the IXEG used to have, I think, some of the best sounds in the sim. After seeing a couple streams, I'm not quite sold that they are as good as they used to be. I guess I missed the APU spool-ups down, but that's a decent APU sound. We'll see. Do I have an in-depth tutorial for the Airbus FMC and how to program? Yes, I do. Check out the professional series, man. More to come on that later in cruise. I am going to have a little bit of some news for you here during the cruise portion of our flight about some things that are going to be happening here really soon with the channel. So we'll talk about that in cruise once we get up there. But looks like the APU is on a line. Do this old school trip the generator bus there. No longer need ground power. You can go ahead and pull that away. And APU gen is on. We can go ahead and turn the galley power on while we're sitting at the gate. Get those window heats on. We do need some APU bleed air and some package because it is toasty outside. Still confused on the hydraulic setup there for push and or for pre-flight. I don't know if the electrics are supposed to be. I find it weird that the engine-driven pumps are on at the gate and electrics are off. I'm sure one of you guys can correct me in chat. I need to. I should have been doing some flight deck to sim study session there on the hydraulic configuration. We're gonna go with 360. That's what I filed this at. I do know that the optimum wind after looking at active sky is actually 38,000, so that'll be interesting. We may have to climb up a little bit higher, but everything else looks good there. I do want to check some. I kind of did this out of order, but I want to hear some stall tests here. We'll do our. That looks good. Just testing the sounds. I know they redid a lot of the sounds, so. Carter says, yeah, they did a great job with the engine model texture update. I actually really like their fast N1 transition, so we could definitely watch that. Oh, we will definitely watch the transition. But I mean, that is a sharp-looking engine. It's almost, man, it's almost too. I don't think I've ever said this. Almost too shiny? Is that a thing? I'll have to look at some old United 7.3 pictures. We are rocking the old EFIS gauges as well because that's what United used to run, at least the cockpit that I saw. All right, let's get our FMC programmed here. Pause init. We're going SFO. Man, I was sitting at the gate. I'm like, man, I think I have everything done. And I forgot I could have pulled up all my charts, but that's all right. Route, we're going to go SFO to Portlandia, FlightBeam Portland up there, going up the Orbix coast. I've got Orbix from Southern California all the way to Washington, so I'm excited for that. We're going to be departing. Let's pull up the 10.9 page here. I think hopefully 2.8s. That's the coolest departure. We'll see what they've got going for us. Let me get the ATIS system here for Pilot Edge. Departing 2.8 right and 2.8 left. Oh no. Disregard. Departing 1 right and a 1 left. That's no fun. Hydraulic pumps should go all on in prep phase so that walk around you can check for leaks. Makes sense. Flight Deck to Sim says turns them always on at start for the walk around to check for any hydraulic leaks. All right, well, let's go ahead and do that. Let me pull up my 10.9 page here and back to the overhead. Let's turn them all on, check for hydraulic leaks. That we can do. Not a problem. It's awfully loud truck sounds, but I guess it's all those guys out there. So we're going to be departing 1 right and left. Most likely going to get 1 left. 7,600 feet. We'll be able to do that. 1 left at Mike 1, and we're going to be taking off on the Truckin' 2 RNAV off of 1. I don't think that's nearly as exciting. No, it's pretty much just straight out. Going off 2.8s on the Truckin'. This departure is bad A, man. You come out of here, 520 feet, sharp right turn, looking at downtown San Francisco right here. I love that departure going off of 2.8s, but not very common, I guess, to be blasted off 2.8 right now. So, especially, what do we got for winds? 330 at 16. Yeah. Anyway, but it'll still be good. Once we hit Truckin', we're going to make a hard left turn and go out to Grateful. So let's get that in here. Departure 1 left on the Truckin' 2 out to Grateful transition. Okay. Activate U, execute U. From Grateful, we are, let me just check my route of flight here. A route of flight was, I think I'd have that written down. Dimitri, what's up, says that V1 this plane was optimized for experimental models, so I hope you have it on. Okay, correct. Now, is it for the 1.3? I know it said it in 1.31 experimental flight model on. I'll have to check before we get out of here. Phantom 320, what's going up, man? What's going on? Good to see you here. I think I missed, what did you say? Southwest, for example, I don't think does it. It's electrics off and engine on, hold pre-flight, then prior to push. It's A's off, B's on. Oh boy. All right, well, we'll just pretend that Phantom's out there doing the walk around. And let me get the rest of this route in here real quick. It's a short route. Let me just get that in so we can get on with our pre-flight here. Out to Grateful, then Machu. M-A-C-H-U. Direct from there, and then from Machu it is Moxie. Mike, Oscar, X-Ray, Echo, Echo. Moxie Airlines, that's going to be interesting. Moxie, and then that'll lead us into the Timbers too. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Arrival. Portland. Let me just look at Portland arrival right now on Pilot Edge. 8 cars, they say arriving and departing 28 left and 28 right. So, because I would like to avoid reprogramming this in flight, since I'm not a Boeing guy, let's go Portland, and let's get this loaded in here right now. I know 28s. We're going to be coming in. This is always weird. This is northbound, so 28 right is probably what we'll get for landing. No, 28 left. 28 left. I think, right? I think it's 28 left. We're going to put 28 left on the Timbers 2 off the Moxie transition. And last but not least, arrival, oh, nope, sorry, approach ILS 28 left is, I don't know where where do we come in from? So I'm just gonna leave it at Maver. Oh wait, Maver is out here. Maver, Ready, Sharfie, or Schaefer, Ready, and Waver. Yeah, I don't know. Let me look at the arrival real quick. Timbers 2. I don't think it's linked, because the Timbers is gonna take us down to Pub or ISAC, so it's going to take us to ISAC. So yeah, we're just going to leave it like that because we are not filing for a transition. I didn't file for a connected transition, so it doesn't look connected anyway. So that looks good. Takeoff data. Hold on, we need to go back to the perf init. Here we go. Gross weight. Are we still fueling? I think we're still fueling. Pre-flight. Preferences. Nope. Ground services. There we go. I guess it is. We're at 9.3. Real time up to 14. So gross weight is 116.7. And reserves, we're going to take 3. Actually, no. We can't take. We're going to do 2.0. I'm going to do cost index of 55. And 360 is our cruise. That should be good. 9.3. We need more than that, though. Alright, let's just do this. 13 all. We need 14 thou. Instant. 14 set. There we go. Oh, it already updated. Cool. Up to 14. Planned burn is like 12. Pretty tight. Oh well. Execute ISO deviation. We're going to skip that. We're not going to do any derating on the takeoff. Flaps 5 takeoff 34, 36, 45. Trim 4.2. Come over here and set the Z trim. That looks good to me. All right, trim is set, and we need to call for ATs. All right, so let's get rid of Portland. Portland, should have kept that page up. That's all right. San Francisco clearance delivery 18-2. I have to be careful on these radios, and the scroll wheel support is backwards on this version, which is terrible. 11.5 experimental flight model. Okay. Good. Sorry, I'm kind of ignoring the chat there. Just trying to get this thing set up, or else we'll be staring at radios the entire flight. Until I can get this bird on the ground, or in the air. Just make sure to see what you say. Yeah. Okay. Cool. 18.2 for clearance, and like a good pilot, we've got all these random RNAV departures, which I'm pretty sure we're going to get the trucking out of here. So let's give them a call. I think we are connected to the network. Where's my radio stack? Boeing has gotten all kinds of weird stuff. VHF1, volume is on. I think we're set. Oh, what was my ATIS code too, so I don't have to tell him that again either. ATIS code is information Oscar. Alright, let's give him a call. San Francisco clearance, good evening, United 522 with information Oscar, pick up IFR to Portland. There I go, I said that IFR thing again.
At 522 San Francisco clearance, go to Portland Airport, truck in 2 departure, grateful transition on us found. Climb via the SID, except maintain 10,000, squawk 2237.
Clear to Portland International Airport via the truck and 2 departure, grateful transition as filed. Climb via the SID, except maintain 10,000, squawking 2237 for United 522.
United 522, you're back correct.
Wow, that was freaking rip ears. Okay, so maybe this thing does work. We're going to turn that down. We're going to turn that sucker down because that was very, very loud. Alright, so let's get the squawk code in there.
Subscribe.
Thank you for the subscribe there, Zephin. Appreciate it, man. Sorry, guys, if your ears are blown out. Mine are too. 2237. And I'm just going to turn it on because you're on pilot edge, right? So...
Hello, Farmington ground over the Lumber Delta, AFR clearance, Albuquerque International with Alpha.
No. Why is this so loud?
Citation 1 Bravo Delta, Farmington clearance is clear to Albuquerque Airport, Plata 1 departure. Expect radar vectors, rattlesnake VOR.
Okay, what is going on with that? Why is it so loud?
5222. Clear to the Albuquerque International Airport, Plata 1 departure, radar vectors to rattlesnake, and then as filed 1000, and expect 1710 and 5222, number 1 Bravo Delta. November.
Okay, so this is the radio button there. Oh my god. Are you guys alright?
Across the CCOG at or above 4,000.
Are you guys alright? I'm so sorry. I literally have a headache right now. I think we figured it out. It's the radio. Okay, so wow, jeez Louise. It's nothing on here. It's the actual radio volume on the. I can't even think straight. Where were we? I apologize, guys, thoroughly. Good night. Alright, let's do some checklists. Get this thing going. Pins and covers, remove oxygen tested, instrument transfer switches normal. Window heats are on. Hydraulics A's on, B's off. Works for me. Air conditioning and pressure is set. We're getting ready for start. Let's just go ahead and close those. Bleed is on. Flight instruments are set. Let me get our main plan page up. Main plan page is up. There we go. That's the screen I want to be on. Rip. I think I blew my eardrum. Yeah, you and me both, dude. I apologize, man. 10,000 feet on the top altitude is what he gave us.
Ground November 1 Bravo Delta, the FBO, taxi with Alpha.
Maintain 10,000 feet. Flight directors can come on. Speed, I believe there's a 210 restriction. I don't think there is.
Ground, runway
oh my gosh, this support, this mouse wheel support is freaking backwards. At least in this version. I know they changed it.
Has a line right through it, right where the label is for me. It's runway 25, taxi to Alpha.
Flight instruments set, parking brake is set, engine start switch is cut off, every other on trim, 0 taxi briefings. We'll go over that. Fuel pumps, we are getting ready to start, so let's go ahead and turn on those. I don't think we have anything in the center. Nothing in the center. Fuel pumps are on. Passenger signs are set. Auto brake RTO. interesting that you do that here at the gate. FMC pre-flight completed. Takeoff speeds are set. MCP V2. Oh, it's V2 that you put there. According to the checklist, V2 is 145. I'm going to leave 210 for now just because I don't know. That just seems weird. All right. That looks good. Let's get rid of these trucks because I don't like having them there either. Talking in my ear. Christian said at least he didn't say with you. Yeah, I completely rattled, lost my train of thought. We're going to have to step through the flight plan again. Because that was rough. Truck and 2 RNAV. Let's see, going off 1 left, tied at or above 3,000, then it's a hard left turn. So there is no restriction there. Unless you're taking off 28 right, 28 left, it says do not exceed 210 until a right turn. Basically to keep that radius of turn down so you don't go over the city there. Off 1 left, what I'm expecting, climb on heading with 014 to 520, then a right turn to tied, cross tied at above 3, then on track to 043 to trucking. Top altitude 190, except he gave us the top altitude of 10,000 feet, so we have that set. Our departure brief is complete. A taxi brief out of here for 1 left, I can expect, I'll call him up here at 7 Bravo. I'm probably either going to get Alpha all the way around, or we may get Alpha, Echo. If he's mean to us, he'll give us this transition over here in the inset. So it could be Alpha, Foxtrot, Bravo. Could get if it gets weird, it's probably because of this intersection. Or it's going to be Alpha, Echo, Bravo all the way out. So, and then Mike 1 is where we want to be at.
Thank you.
So taxi brief is considered completed. Carter says they fixed the new version of the mouse wheel. Yeah, I noticed that. I almost rocked it because of that, but the stability issues that I saw with that update, I went with tried and true here. I do want to step through these really quick here. Nope. Nope, I need to be on the legs page. There we go. Alright, so zoom it out just a tad. Make sure we don't have any weird things. So look at over here. We're going to step through Tide Truck and Matthew Moxie. That looks pretty good to me. Everything is in the box there. We're doing no derated takeoff, max takeoff, no intersection 4.2, flaps 5, 22% on the CG. That looks good to me. So I think that is pretty much set. Doors and windows, we do need to close those, so let's call the ground crew real quick. We'll go ahead and close all the cargo doors. Wait, the lights out. There we go. Transponder is on. Anti-collision light is on, and we are ready to push. I believe we get the pitot-static after start. Galley power comes off. I don't know. That's an old thing. I don't know if you actually have to turn the galley power off in this Boeing. I know in the older ones you did. All right, let's go ahead and call our pushback.
Pushback failure. No suitable tug for your aircraft.
Really? No suitable tug for my aircraft, huh? Interesting. I'll get rid of those. I guess we'll do the main. I just want to go straight back, I guess. Release brakes. Hopefully it doesn't push me into that other situation over there.
November 1 Bravo Delta, contact Denver Center. We'll see ya.
Denver Center, see you, November 1 Bravo Delta.
Woo! Oh, sorry guys. Evening V1, this is James. Guys, sorry, I'm totally ignoring you guys there in chat. I was just trying to get us off of the gate here. It's a little bit longer en route, so I want to make sure we are not spending all our time sitting at the gate. What is the actual altimeter setting? 29er 79er.
Citation 1 Bravo Delta, Denver Center, radar contact. Farmington altimeter 2998, climb and maintain 17,000.
I'm not even going to worry about the FO side. Starting our pushback. Whoa. We'll just have to make a sharp turn. Bring back the eyebrow windows. I agree, man. Every time that I flew an aircraft in the jump seat that had eyebrow windows, I always saw the crew putting checklists up there, or passenger safety cards, I should say, like old passenger safety cards in the cabin, just so the sun doesn't come down and beat on their forehead. All right, so now how do I tell this guy enough is enough? We could make the right turn out there for sure. Is it just push indefinitely? Actually, a pretty nice little tug he's got there. It says U.S. Airways on it. I can roll with that. Okay, I guess we're stopping there. Set the brake. You're clear to disconnect. He gone.
November 1 Bravo Delta, turn right.
Let's go ahead and start engine
150
number
rattlesnake.
2. So everything is configured. Pumps are on. Bleed is up. And ground in it. Let's take a look at this and 1 animation. Interesting sounds.
Citation 1 Bravo Delta, when you're able, direct rattlesnake and resume on navigation.
Clear direct. Fubar says, give him the bird V1, he'll stop. Okay, so
4475, no traffic observed between you and the Bellingham Airport. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach.
that's a very
While airborne on this frequency,
interesting.
or cancel underground within 5 minutes of landing on 122.2. Change to the advisory frequency is approved.
Interesting sound.
4475, radar
Really?
service terminated. Squawk and maintain VFR free. Change
That's
crew.
the engine startup sound for the IXEG.
November 1 Bravo Delta.
I'm actually a little depressed.
Roger,
Let's try
are
it
you
with
able
the
to
window
hold
open.
as published on Victor 368? It'd be the Rattlesnake 072 radial with left hand turn.
Alright, we're going to just turn him off for a minute. Let's go ahead and ground 1. There's the bleed pressure. Okay, so maybe I have to start with the window open. I mean, that old rattle sound is true, but yeah, I don't know. That was a little exaggerated, I think. X-Plane 1972. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. Welcome aboard, man. Good to see you here. Oh, here we are motoring. I forgot I gotta give it fuel because it's a Boeing. Alright, I mean, that is definitely better with the cockpit window open. But I'm actually a little pretty sad about that because the default IXEG sound pack in the old version was arguably one of the best sound sets in the entire sim. So I'm actually a little bit depressed on that one. I'm sure I did that all out of order and you guys are going to yell at me, but we got it on. Oh, we got a dual bleed there. I think I screwed that up. I think we're all back to normal. Let's a little brightness there. We no longer need the APU. You can come off. I always get scared when I mess with this switch here in the Boeing because I'm like, man, these generator trip switches, if you're not set. Alright, Gen 2 is looking good. Gen 1. Volts and amps look good to me. So I think we are good to go. I believe these go to flight after. Let's do a checklist here. Before taxi, generators on, pitot heat on, anti-ice as required, PAX auto, isolation valve. Needs to be auto. Right? That's why we check things. That looks like it's off. So that's close, auto, off, auto. Okay. Isolation valve auto start switch is continuous. Ground equipment. Oh, nope, missed it. Recall. Check. Start levers idle. Flight controls. The old honeycomb yoke. Looking good. Ground equipment remove. Flaps and APU. So we need to go flaps 5. All right, talk to me on the flap sound then. I mean, Interesting. Ailerons into the wind. I like that name. Man, you guys have some of the best names. I'm going to have like a best name competition. I should get the IXEG pack. So I know there is an FMOD sound pack for it. I intentionally did not use it on this stream because I wanted to see what the default sounds were like. And I can tell you right now, I'm a little bit depressed. But we have bourbon for that. Also, what's with this default view? So here's my default view. I'm sitting on top of the seat on the right-hand side. So I've set my own view here, which is where you should be, with your butt in the seat. Now, I don't know why when I hit default view, I'm, you know, straddling the captain's right shoulder, but I guess we can work around that. Turn the HIM back on. Brakes released. We're going to position ourselves to the right so we don't hit the fuel truck.
5205 X-ray. It's an Eclipse 550. Like to shoot an ILS approach into Phoenix.
Nope, this is not the FT Sim pack, Andre.
5205 X-ray.
This is the default. I wanted to test it out.
Number 5205 X-ray, remain outside of the Phoenix Bravo airspace. I have your request.
05 X-ray.
You can guarantee, though, that I will be on the FT Sim pack next. Brian Harris, what's up, dude? He says, V1, I just added FlightBeam Portland to the ORBX left coast.
05
Left
X-ray, you
coast.
planning full stop at Phoenix?
Absolute juice. Absolute. I can't even read. You guys are in for a treat. Absolute juice. Yes.
Perfect.
Brian Harris, my man. I have FlightBeam Portland too, and when I tested it out with the ORBX, it is straight juice, man. It's going to be hard to fly anywhere else right now. It really, really is. I need to get a little bit of light action on here. I feel like, oh, that's right, I got the old, it's not that dark yet, right? It's only 5:30, so the sun should be up for a while. All right, this is spot 7 Bravo. We'll hold short here, pull up our taxi route, and we'll give ground a call on 21.8. I'm just gonna stop the airplane, set the brake, because this is a Boeing and we're on pilot edge, so we gotta be somewhat professional here so we don't end up taxiing on the taxiway.
No delay.
So 21.8, flip him back over. So I'm getting used to this radio transfer thing. It can be very bad if you spin the wrong knob, which is not a big deal for some of you, but if you're an Airbus guy, you have the 2 radios. I'm just used to always tuning this radio. But if I'm talking over here and I tune this one, then I just wiped my frequency I was on. So one of those things that coming from an Airbus, you're like, gotta be careful. All right, who are we? United 522, and we're going to get something to 1 left, I hope. San Francisco ground, good evening, United 522 at spot 7 Bravo, ready taxi.
United 522, San Francisco ground, runway 1 left taxi via Alpha, Mike.
1 left taxi via Alpha, Mike, United 522. All right,
Sorry, did you say you had the ATIS? I missed it.
Yes, sir, yeah, we have information, Oscar.
Beautiful, thanks.
All right, cool. So, yeah, I could have told him, but I told clearance. Why are we saying negative 2979? We do have the proper weather, right? Why is it saying 3004? And that's going from custom METAR file. Pilot is just saying 29er 79er, so I'm going to leave that, although something may not be right. So Alpha Mike, so we're going to take the inner, just like we talked, Alpha Mike, so that's an easy one. We're going to stay on the inner all the way to Mike, and it looks like we're actually going to be taking off an intersection there, so if you're running V speeds, you want to have that takeoff shift in there. Are you flying over Eugene, Oregon? I don't know. We'll have to look at the route of flight. I have to check it out. So the taxi sounds, I feel like all I'm hearing is a rattle. I don't know, man. I don't need that. I don't know. I'm just not immersed. I am not immersed. That's weird. My active sky is telling me my altimeter should be 3004. We'll check before we get the tower control. But look at that shot, huh? That looks pretty nice. Donald Lett, what's up, man? Good to see you here. He said 2995.
Sky 611, Portland departures, clear to Tillamook Airport as filed. Climb and maintain
Stay on the taxiway
6000.
here.
Departure frequency 118.42. Squawk 64.
I'll get a confirmation on the tower before we go. I just updated the pilot edge weather and it said Oscar, which is 2979er. Never understood those exposed cables between the cockpit windows.
Holding for release, just call back this
Let me see.
frequency, shore the runway,
Exposed cables. Exposed cables. Are you talking about these thin lines right here? These are window heating filaments. All right, Alpha is all right. So that's the other thing about coming from an Airbus is the Boeing rides legit like a lowrider. So we gotta see, it's a little bit harder to read taxiway signs. We're gonna stay on Alpha all the way to Mike, so we're looking good. But yeah, these are the window heating elements. Is XP realistic on? Yes, it is, and I've tuned all the ground taxi shaking and stuff way down because you don't, like I was saying earlier, in an airliner you don't really rattle around. I mean, if your dash is rattling during engine startup or when you're adding power, something is wrong.
November 1 Lima uniform, descend and maintain 13,000, Salt Lake altimeter 2977.
Jeremy, he says V1 IXEG is already aware of the broken sounds. They're going to address them in a future update. That's awesome, man. Because, yeah, I mean, I know they're capable of really good sounds because I thoroughly enjoyed the sounds on the first version of this IXEG. So I'm sure they'll fix it, but you as well as anybody, Jeremy, know that sounds, man, it makes a huge difference. Beautiful music, beautiful engine sounds. Sim Pilot says, I'm watching this while doing a flight on the 7-4 from LA to Honolulu. Nice, dude. I'm just weaving and bobbing all over this taxiway here.
Yakima Tower, Cessna 729.
Tower is
Echo Lima,
120.5.
Full stop.
So this frequency, 120.5. We'll put that
Yakima Tower ident.
right there. Man, my taxiing is
Cessna
atrocious right now.
729 Echo Lima.
And you didn't give us a departure, so it'll be on the departure procedure, 120.9.
I'm not sure what ident means.
Rip.
Press the ident button on your transponder.
We'll go.
Dimitri says, if you're not on the latest Active Sky beta, you'll have issues with X-Plane Realistic and other airlines.
Thank you. Straight in runway 27. Report
Is that what it is, Dimitri? Man, all this
Runway 27.
update this to beta, go stable on this, blah, it's getting annoying, man. Everyone needs to get their act together. Maybe the Boeing isn't as good as smooth as an Airbus.
Number 05 X-ray. What's your
I'm not sure about that. I just I'm too busy looking around here. I mean, that's a nice view right there.
Lima, sir. 05 X-ray.
Thank you.
I mean, that
Got me going in
looks good
circles.
right there.
05 X-ray.
I just need you below the Bravo. I can't just send you through it.
All right, so Hotel Bravo. So we're Hotel Mike is the next turn for us.
Number 1 Lima uniform, contact Salt Lake approach 135.5.
Coming from an A350 cockpit to this one is like night and day. Oh yeah,
I have
dude.
your request, am I?
Especially with the retro engine gauges here.
Right.
All right, so Mike is the next one. Captain Gio, what's going on, man? Good to see you, dude.
Uniform, Salt Lake approach. Roger. Thanks for pop out.
I'm doing well, man. Hope you're doing good.
Niner 6 2996. And expect the visual approach runway 35.
2996 will expect visual 35 on the uniform.
So I wonder if I should just cancel. Should I just turn off active sky, Dimitri, you think? Or is XP realistic gonna... Should I just turn off XP realistic?
Citation 1 Bravo Delta, would you like a vector back around for Rattlesnake, or you just want to take it in the hold?
Alright, so intersection departure here at Mike. Go ahead and kill the taxi light. We'll go switch to
Farmington Airport
tower.
via the Rattlesnake VOR. The Rattlesnake
120.5
radio off round to Fogel. And cross the Rattlesnake VOR, correction, cross Fogel.
Brake
at or
set.
above 9,000,
Departure
and clear
freak
the
is
ILS runway 25 approach.
120.9er. And let's run through a couple checklists here, make sure we're ready to go. Before takeoff, flaps are set green 5 and indicating. That looks good. Trim is 4.2, set. Cabin call given. We're pretty much ready to go now. I guess I'm just going to leave it on 29 or 79er. No bourbon night? Oh, no, V1. Avioman, we're definitely on the bourbon tonight, dude.
Sky 611 with Portland departure. Released for departure now, clearance void if not off by 2150 Zulu, time now 2142.
Maybe I should I just turn off active sky?
Your intentions, change advisory frequency approved.
You know, active sky is saying we'll just roll with it for a minute. We'll give him a call. You guys ready?
1 Lima uniforms clear direct to Fairfield VOR.
I'm ready.
Repeat again for 1 Lima uniform.
November 1 Lima uniform direct to Fairfield VOR. Foxtrot uniform.
Direct to Fairfield VOR, 1 Lima uniform.
San Francisco Tower, United 522, holding short to 1 left, ready for departure.
United 522, San Francisco Tower, runway 1 left. Cleared for takeoff, wind 320 at 16.
1 left, clear for takeoff, United 522. All right, guys.
Yeah, coming
Light 'em
tower,
up.
Cessna 9 Echo Lima, 3 mile final, runway 27.
We're enter Echo Lima, thanks. Wind calm, runway 27, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, runway 27, 9 Echo Lima.
I mean, she is pretty, though. Gotta give it to IXEG. It is a pretty bird. I like the light effect. That looks pretty good. This is a terrible lineup. My right main isn't... wasn't too bad. All right, here we go. Auto throttle is armed. Spool it up 50%. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's happening with the tiller? That was weird. Be nice to me, Boeing. Spool them up 50. Toga. Little forward pressure on the stick. $80 knots, rest set. Rotate.
One Lima uniform, descend to maintain 1000.
Positive brake. You're up.
United 522, contact NorCal departure.
Over to NorCal, United 522. Wow, watch that pitch attitude there, cowboy. NorCal, good evening, United 522, 1000, climbing 10,000 on the trucking 2.
United 522, NorCal departure, radar contact.
Aaron Hastings coming in with the flex. No, sir. No can do. Let's do a flyby shot here as we escape that overcast layer.
Right turn when you're able into the ramp via
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Watch the overspeed there. That's a 0.
November 9 Echo Lima, right turn off of the runway when you're able. Into the ramp on Alpha, stay on this frequency.
She does hand fly nice though, I tell you
Turn
what.
right.
IXEG is...
Stay on this frequency.
They do hand fly nice.
November 05 X-ray, how long do you plan on circling out there?
You give me clearance to the airport, sir.
Hey, your VFR.
I understand. I was asking for an ILS to runway 8 if you could clear me through.
Right, so I'm not going to give you a false sense of security by vectoring a VFR aircraft inside of Class Echo airspace 40 miles away from a Class Bravo. I would recommend proceeding towards the Phoenix Airport with your request, which I have, remaining outside of the Bravo airspace, and then when I can accommodate your request, I'll happily do so.
Your 5 X-ray.
Trim wheel sounds like an old car trying to start. Yeah, it does kind of, huh?
Sky High 611.
What? Says NorCal 522, United 522 with you. Negative, negative. I am not with anybody here.
Sky High 6.
We are 5.5, climbing 10,000 flyby shot.
Altitude checks. Portland altimeter 3001.
3001, Sky High 611.
Ooh, yeah. How about that shot, though, right there? Probably turn it down just a wee bit. ORBX NorCal, man. I absolutely love it. Rose Jackson, how's it going? Am I back flying in real life? Next week. Aaron Hastings says the rules are different for Boeing streams. We need to go fully derated. That's actually a good idea. Maybe we have to do that next time. Boeing is a mandatory derate just because we don't want to hear the sewing machines. Or what are these engines called? CFMs? Something like that. Oh, look at that though. I mean, that is a chromey engine cowling, but it looks clean. If this is a fresh paint job, I might believe it. There are about 500 different sounds the trim wheel can produce. I believe it, man.
Farmington Tower, November 1 Bravo Delta, Mayday, and ILS 25 requesting fire trucks on standby, please.
United 522, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Climb and maintain flight level 190, United 522. 190.
November 1 Bravo Delta, Farmington Tower, wind 190 at 8, runway 25, clear to land.
19 is blue. Let's get the wheel well wing light off and logo light off. Everything else is off through 10. Let's run a checklist here. After takeoff, bleed air is all. Let's just make sure we are pressurizing so we don't all pass out. We are pressurizing, and I believe you should have been in flight mode.
November 1 Lima uniform, roger. Expect vectors final.
That looks good.
Expect vectors, 1 Lima uniform.
Landing gears up and off, flaps up, no light, altimeter set. We'll set them at 18. Everything else looks good to me, guys. We are well on our way to Portland. Do you ever think Pilot Edge will expand from the west to the east? I don't know, man. I'm sure it all has to do with how many controllers they can staff. Captain Geo says we need a group flight on Pilot Edge. Ooh, I don't know how that would go over, man. We'd have to be on our A game for that one. Team Vodka, he says, remember next week, call them spoid brakes. I will. I think I don't even know what they're really called anymore. They're not spoid brakes. I feel like you don't hear people getting yelled at on VATSIM. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say no comment. Captain Geo says, I go back sometime next week. Been a nice long 3 months vacay. Captain Geo, cheers to you, sir. That's awesome, man.
Contact Oakland Center on 132.905. Good day.
132.905. Good day, United 522. 132.905.
Salt Lake approach 125.7.
Man, those mountains look so good, though. I just want to get back out there. What was it? I forget who we were talking to. Center Canadian United 522, 14-3, climbing flight level 190.
United 522, Oakland Center, climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360, United 522. Up to 36.
Thank you
for the subscribe, iBob.
Runway 35, descend and maintain 8,000.
Up to 360. Man, my finger's going to wear out scrolling this in here. 36 is set. 15.5. Let's do a flyby shot. Milltown, straight juicy. I agree, dude.
November 05 X-ray. Again,
Alright, that flyby
the Class Bravo
is pretty good.
airspace is protected for IFR aircraft, especially into this particular airport. It's really reserved for the commercial turbojet aircraft landing at Phoenix. So again, you want to remain outside the Bravo airspace. I'd recommend just staying below each shelf as you continue towards Phoenix.
We missed the Golden Gate Bridge. There it is.
Request, we'll be happy to do so.
There she is. It's funny, I used to fly this route
Okay, you're gonna want
a lot lower, about 10 or 12,000 feet when I was flying freight out there. Going up to Northern California, then coming right back in over the bay. Absolutely love it.
Either that or climb.
I don't think I've flown this plane since X-Plane 10, Jamie says. Yeah. Flight mode is just for in-flight reline, if I recall. Or
Again, I can't
for
send
the
you into the Bravo airspace.
8 years? Favorite destination you're flying to next week? San Diego, man. San Diego. Going into San Diego on the 6th, I believe.
November 1 Bravo Delta, you need to hang out in that position for a bit.
I believe. I was supposed to go there on the 5th as well, but since it's 4th of July, on the I didn't know if I wanted to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning on the 5th. So I switched my trips around. So I'll do an out and back on the 4th.
611, contact Seattle Center.
And then I'm off on the 5th, and then I do go into San Diego on the 6th. Thank you for subscribing to their gameplay videos. Your cross flying, yeah, we got a little bit of a crosswind already. We may have to go to 38 here. We'll see what the winds are doing. Wingnet says engine pumps on, electrics off. That's what Boeing recommends when I got my 733 type. Flight to put the electric pumps on. Might be a different carrier, different. Talking about the hydraulics, they should all be on though in flight, right? So.
Runway 13 at number, please.
Sky high 6.
Captain Gio says I will try to rush the wife to work so I can be free.
Check cat. Correction, Sky 611 is cleared. RNAV.
Have I seen 7500? It's, in my opinion, the most realistic 320 cockpit I've ever seen, even better than Soli. I have not. Flight Path, I have not. And a couple guys were talking about it in the Discord, so I need to check it out. I don't even know, I don't even have a remote idea what it's about, but I will definitely check it out. We're well above 18. Let's set 29902.
November 1, leaving uniform, turn left heading 080, descend and maintain 7,000.
29902. I know we missed it out of 18, but at least we're set now. No harm, no foul. Looks pretty smooth. We'll go ahead and turn the... Oops, the wrong one. Turn you back on. You can't smoke on United Airlines flight. We don't have a flyby shot here. Then we're going to park ourselves outside because we need to enjoy this. Oh, those mountains. All right, let me turn down the volume just a little bit more. And go outside. There's the shot right there. That is a good shot. Yes, sir. Have you ever had a copy of phone number from ATC? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I talked about it in my podcast series, I believe, on episode about complacency or something like that. Yes, I have had a copy, a phone number. Not a good feeling, Will. It is not a good feeling, man. Sam says it's fun. Must be a cool approach. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I might do it in X-Plane, to be honest with you, before I go. But it's been a while. It's been a long time since I've been into San Diego. But it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Somebody posted an article, one of the pilot chats I'm on, about some guy wrote something about, oh, be careful about flying because pilots haven't been flying anybody in the last couple months and their currency is not good and blah, blah, blah. And while it's kind of comical at the same time, kind of like, I mean, it's going to be, I'm not going to be hopping in the cockpit and just ripping through checklists and flows. It's going to take some time to get back into the grind, making sure that everything is done the way it needs to be done. And if it takes you a couple extra minutes to do it, then so be it, you know. It's better to take a little extra time at the gate, get everything done, and make sure it is done properly, than to rush. But I mean, that is just awesome right there. I don't even know where to put this camera because it looks so freaking good. Look at that lake down there. I'd like to go fishing there right now.
Or 5205 X-ray contact.
Oh, flight mode for engine start switches, I meant. Oh, flight mode. Yeah, I'm not a Boeing guy, man. I imagine it's something to do with the ignition system. When you're flying heavy rain or something. Lachlan Bray, what's going on? He says, my parents just got back to flying the Airbus as Australia just opened a few more borders. Awesome, man. Good to hear it. Shouldn't engine start switches be off? They probably should, but I don't want to get away from this view right now. You should fly the 777. I've seen videos on it, man. I don't think it's ready. I don't think it's ready. I think there's too many airplanes in X-Plane that are just not ready to be purchased. They're not ready to be sold. And quite frankly, it's frustrating because now we have Vulcan out, and only a handful of the airplanes are Vulcan compatible. And here, you know, X-Plane is trying to get up their cutting-edge technology and compete with other sims, and we got developers on X-Plane that take a little bit of time. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but there are quite a few that, quite frankly, just shouldn't even be purchasable aircraft. I mean, you guys know me. You know I love Airbus. I would love to have the A350. But I'm not spending a dime on an airplane that doesn't have SID star support. I mean, how do you release an airliner without SIDs and stars? That just blows my mind. Clear Direct Fubar says, back to work stream V1. Let's do it. Yes, I'm hoping, guys. I'm hoping on Sunday. I'm hoping on Sunday. It's going to be absolute madness. I originally wasn't going to have time for any streams this week, but we're actually signing the papers on our temporary apartment home tomorrow, and we're going to move some stuff, and then we're doing the full move on Saturday. And then Sunday, I'm going to leave everything. The only thing that's going to be left in our house is going to be my PC. So I'm hoping I will be able to do one more stream for you on Sunday. And then that's it. Then this house is done. We're out. We're in our temporary apartment home. And then in a couple of months, hopefully, we'll move into our actual home. So I'm going to try to get at least one back to work stream for you on Sunday. Flight Pass said, I watched it last night. It's a hijacking 320, about a hijacking 320, very realistic, interesting listen. Really, is it? So is it a fiction? Is it like based on fiction or based on fiction? Is it a fiction movie or is it based on a real hijacking or a real aircraft incident?
Number 5205 X-rays cleared into the Phoenix Bravo airspace. Be a direct Balti.
Flight mode is setting for in-flight interstart. Okay, so then they should be off in a normal configuration. I imagine continuous will be for heavy rain or severe turbulence, because that's what I do for the Airbus. Mark says, latest update about the Pakistani crash. Apparently a lot of the pilots had questionable licenses. So about that, and this is one of those things, guys, where I have tried really hard on this channel to not speculate, because I mean, there's other channels for that will come out and we'll say this is what happened and this is my experience. But, I mean, I'm not going to do that here because being in the industry, I know that there is a lot that can happen behind the scenes that we don't know about. And the media has no idea what they're talking about. Now, I don't want to get into politics on this channel, but when it comes to airplanes, that's the only thing that I know a little bit about, right? So when I hear the media talk about airplanes, I realize how much they really don't know anything. And anybody who is involved in aviation, or maybe somebody involved in any other specific field, like let's say oil drilling or working on oil rigs, and then if there's an incident with an oil rig, you hear the media talk about it, and as somebody who works in the oil industry, you'd be like, they don't have any idea what they're talking about. So the media doesn't know what they're talking about, so I try not to speculate. But yes, I did hear that a lot of them do not have proper licenses, which is scary. It's scary. The latest, flight data or flight data from the Airbus crash is alarming. I posted an excerpt in my Discord. You guys probably read it. Those are in the Discord. But I mean, it's just, I don't know why they elected to do what they did. So, for me, I need to hear the flight. I need to hear the CVR. I need to hear the cockpit voice recorder, because that will probably tell. That'll be the final piece of the jigsaw that we really need, because right now, it makes no sense to me. I mean, it makes sense. I know what happened according to flight data recorder, but I need to know why some decisions were made, because it's very, very alarming. Captain Bear, so that's awesome. V1 going back to work. Yeah, man, it's exciting. I'm glad to be back in the pit for real. It's been time. It's been fun, but it's time to get back on the grindstone, man. I miss it. I'd be lying to you guys if I said I did not miss getting in the airplane again. Jeremy Harvey says flight mode also pressurizes the cabin slightly for takeoff to avoid uncomfortable pressure bumps in your ears during rotation. Really? Very interesting, Jeremy. Very interesting. See, it's things like that I mean, I would never know unless you guys tell me, or you go through a type rating course on the 737. I mean, there's so much little stuff that you pick up. That's pretty cool. Ed Reed, what's going on, man? I meant to say hi earlier. I saw your name scrolling through the chat, and I wasn't sure if it was the Ed Reed. Ed Reed, man, welcome back. Welcome to the stream, dude. He says, so well stated, fake news. I'm with you, Ed Reed. Have I tried the Flight Factor 350? No, I have not, and I refuse to try the Flight Factor 350 until it resembles an airliner with some FCID and star support. Gus Papa says they showed the CCTV of the plane scraping the engines when they attempted to land with the gear up. Oh my goodness. See, I haven't seen that. That's pretty crazy, man. I mean, we know what happened with the with the FDR and the CCTV footage, right? We know they hit the ground with the gear up. And from what I've read from the report, they lowered the gear and then raised the gear. So I have no idea why that is. And I think the flight data I keep saying flight data recorder, but I think the CVR will be the piece that we need before we can really make an informed decision on what happened, because yeah, we saw what the airplane did. It's hard to imagine it happening that way. So we need to hear the CVR. We need to hear the CVR. Pilot guy 707, what's going on? He says V1 off during normal flight, continuous for turbulence, flight mode for heavy rain or severe turbulence and icing, and engine restart. Okay, awesome. Well, you guys aren't going to let this go, so let me go ahead and do it right now. Let me come in here. We're going to go off, and seatbelt sign is off. We're level 36076 on the Mach. Can we bump that up a little bit? Let's do a 7. Let's do some Airbus speeds here. Let's at least do 7.8.
Albuquerque Center, number 923 Whiskey Echo 330.
We'll do 7.8 on the Mach number. Let's get up there a little ways.
Phoenix Tower, runway 7 right, cleared to land, wind calm.
How's our fuel looking? We got 10,000 pounds. Progress page 0357Z. So just over an hour. Everything is looking good. Auto brake should have disarmed that a while ago. Surprised you guys didn't catch that. Come on now. Alright, everything else looks good up here in the cockpit. Do a quick flyby shot.
Sky High 611, you can go ahead and cancel.
Broken. Sorry, calling Seattle's broken.
Not terrible.
Sky High 611, we're canceling IFR.
You should say flyby after takeoff.
Roger, IFR cancellation.
V1, rotate, flyby.
For exchange is approved, just call me when you're on the ground.
Sky High 611.
Man, look at that. What is our wind? We're bucking 110 knot crosswind right now. Our ground speed is 390, so it's pretty much a, man, it's almost a direct crosswind, isn't it? Look at that, 274. 274 degrees. That is Interesting. Well, I guess we are flying northbound, so that makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, I like looking at the mountains, but I like looking at the sun reflecting off the paint job right here. Let's do that. We can look at the mountains and the airplane.
Just verify again, 7 right.
There we go.
All right, you're up on 8 center line again there for a bit.
Would be nice to see you while you stream. Jared, I've entertained that. I've tossed that idea back and forth a little bit for a face cam. It just, maybe in the future. I mean, it would have been funny. I tell you what, it would have been funny
turning for runway 8
for y'all to see me with my beard, because I haven't flown in 3 months, right? So
make right traffic, please.
Everybody who hasn't flown, they're like, hey, let's grow our beards out, because in the States you can't fly with facial hair. You can have a little bit of mustache, but it has to be trimmed at the corners and everything, and that's so the oxygen mask will seal on your face in the event of a decompression or something like that. Now, I know in Europe and stuff, I think Aegean, man, I saw a couple of pictures where those pilots were full-blown facial hair, which would be pretty sweet, but unfortunately we can't do it. So I told my wife, I was like, hey, this is once in a lifetime opportunity where I let this thing grow, and man, grow it has.
2 Sierra Papa on course departure.
It's there. It's long.
West and I-880 maintain VFR at or below 2,000 until advised.
Gavin Cornell says V1 not an aviation
Runway
question, but are you a gun guy?
For takeoff.
I'm a competition shooter myself. Gavin Cornell, awesome, dude. Yes, man, I am a gun guy, man. I'm a native Texan, of course, dude. Absolutely. Actually, that's what's costing me a lot of money, is I got to get somebody to come move the freaking safe.
5205 X-ray tower.
And they charge a pretty penny to do that.
Not getting any readbacks on your instructions. You're well north of course. You were instructed to make right traffic for runway 7 right.
You need to calm down, my friend. There you go. Abdullah, you're welcome here, man, but you got to calm down. You spam the chat, it's just not going to work out, bud. Jeremy says, I'm filling out an application to be an air crash investigator. I want to be on the flight recorder team. Jeremy Harvey, dude. Awesome. That is something that I've always had interest in, and that's what I minored in when I went to school, was aviation safety. And I always thought that if, God forbid, I lose my medical and I can't fly or something, I would definitely want to get into the aviation safety side of things, or investigation. So that's awesome, Jeremy. I hope it works out for you, man. Captain Gio says, check your DM when you can, brother. I got something for you.
X-ray. Just
Let me pull it up there, Gio.
You've
Thanks,
taken
bud.
the runway 8 center line 2 times on final, forced to go around, which is fine. I'm okay with a go around, but if I can't, I mean, you're flying directly over Phoenix again, supposedly on a right downwind for runway 7
Captain
right. That
Gio.
can't happen in Bravo airspace.
Nice.
Due to the serious nature of your deviation,
Butter,
I would recommend
dude.
that you fly the pilot training program.
Leap
and you can access
engines
information
on
the training
that,
program
buddy.
and the pilot
Ooh,
center
what
link
was that
on the
touchdown
pilot
right there,
homepage.
Gio? Nice picture, my friend. Power set. I like it. I like that livery, man. I like it, Gio. Good stuff, dude. Hold on, let me go. That guy was... Somebody didn't know what the traffic pattern altitude was there in Phoenix. No bueno. Andre Henry says, nice. Just got back from the range myself. Awesome, dude.
Number 5205 X-ray. What are your intentions?
Terry Slowman, I've learned so much about the about the A321 because of you, and I forced myself to do things more realistic. So far, I am loving it. Terry, awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you're enjoying the Airbus. And that's the thing is, we all, especially when people join flight simulation and, we all have fun initially, right? Just getting in and flying the airplane, but then we get proficient and we get good at doing that. So how do we up our level of enjoyment? And that is what I think it is, trying to do things as realistic as possible. And when you're at that point, it adds a whole nother level of satisfaction when you complete a flight. You know, when you start cold and dark and you load everything properly and you go over all your charts and you do your checklist, and then by the time you shut the airplane down at the gate, you're like, wow, that was fun. So I think that you know, that's as a kid and doing flight simulation before I actually started flying. That's kind of what I was doing, and I'm glad I could share that to some of you guys now. We're gonna park it right here for a second. I gotta give it to, I'm an Airbus guy. I gotta give it to Boeing on the 737-300. I think this body style, if you will, just looks so good. It's so proportionate, and without the winglet thingies, just straight wing. 737-300 is just a good looking airplane. I mean, that is a beautiful looking airplane. And of course, I think Boeing's got the nose nailed down, even in modern Airbuses. Boeing nailed the nose here. I like Boeing noses. If I could put a Boeing nose on the A350, that would be the bee's knees right there. Oh, got a lot of background noise there. Pilot Edge seems to have a lot of deviations today. Yeah, he, I heard him going on in the background there. Definitely dealing with a lot there.
NorCal departure radar contact.
Gio says Power Set is for Citation Max. That is a virtual airline. Awesome, dude. Was a great landing. Good stuff, dude. Mateo Chewy says this is one beautiful super juicy livery. This is my favorite United livery ever. Battleship Gray, man. Battleship Gray United. I love it. I think it looks sharp. The ATC needs a shot of bourbon. I bet he could go for one right now, man. I bet he could. We'll be trying out the INI Sim 8300 when it comes out. Oh, you bet, username. You absolutely bet. 20 out of 10. I will be all over that A300, man. I'm very, very excited for the A300. Flight level 2070 says V1, please, I require this information, otherwise I will literally explode then die. I must know how many nostril hairs do you have? Thank you. I don't know, but I do know you just got yourself banned from the channel, so I hope it was worth it. I mean, I have too many to count, I guess. Username unknown. Will you be trying out? Well, I already read that one. Leonidas, he says, when you have major sim as realistic as possible, the only upgrade you can do is fly real life. There you go, Leonidas. There you go, man. Nothing beats the 7.2. Selbeer, yeah, the 7.2 is hard to beat. I'm talking for, I'm sorry, I guess I said Boeing. What I meant to say is the 737 lineup of airplanes. The 737-300 is absolutely juice. I like the 200 as well, but if I'm being completely honest with myself, I think I might actually like the 737-300 with the larger engines. Just because I think it looks, I don't know, looks more proportionate. I love flying the FlyJ Sim 732, but the 300 this looks good. The 500 is good too. I think is it shorter than the 300? But the 700 is mad. The 800 is definitely mad. The 800 is just kind of like it. It's the A320 of Airbuses. It's right in the middle. The 900 is okay because it's long, but I think the 300 is where it's at. Abdullah Muhammad, man, you're done as well.
Number 3 Whiskey Foxtrot, roger, expect that. And with Phoenix approach, fly heading 050.
Flight passes V1, I wish aircraft creators added scenarios with random walk-around flaws. Have you ever discovered a problem during walk-around? That is something that I think really is lacking in flight sim in general, is having failures. I'm going to come inside the cockpit, or inside the wing view here for a little bit quieter, a little bit more chill environment here. Yes, I've seen a couple things. I've seen some hydraulic leaks. I've seen bird strikes that went unnoticed, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning because somebody didn't do the appropriate walk around when they flew the airplane in. I've seen a handful of things. I think that would be cool if somehow a developer could, but I don't know how you would model that. I don't know how it's possible, but it would be cool to have a pre-flight function of X-Plane. I'm not quite sure how they would do it for exterior.
Taxiway or runway. taxiway even. That should be on. Again, your transponder is now
Dylan says trolls are out today.
Turn that
Yes,
on, make straight
yes
into
they are,
runway
Dylan.
27 and report a 3-mile final.
They got nothing else to do today, man. Some days they're occupied, but they're not occupied today, so it's as expected.
Report a 3-mile final, please. 3 miles.
The United says a nice feature Boeing has that Airbus doesn't is that you can adjust you can have the autopilot on only for lateral control while maintaining maneuver. Yep, that's part of the CWS, right? The control wheel steering system.
Thank you.
So,
got it.
Yeah, it is cool. When will you do some flights to and from the Bahamas? I don't know, man. We're gonna have to fly down there at some point.
Left traffic, cleared visual approach runway 21.
Sam says the Dash 900 looks like a table coming into land. It's so flat to avoid tail strikes. Yeah, it's got that. I forget what they call it. There's a tail strike guard or bumper that's on the 900 too. But they do look pretty flat. But that's like a 321 comes in flatter too. The Dash 500 is the shortest, says Gus Papas. I would like to have a Dash 500 version. It'd be cool if they could add an add-on to the this airplane, make the 500 shorter.
I can't get you down to Ferns. My minimum vectoring altitude is close to 8,000 feet, and I can't get you.
So I'm just going to take a minute and hand it to this controller because I'm pretty sure this is the guy who read me the riot act once or twice on Pilot Edge, but his temperament definitely is acceptable with the amount of struggle he's having to deal with today.
And actually, it's not an entryway onto the
airway, I'm getting ready to start yelling at these pilots for not knowing some basic stuff. But he's doing a good job. He's doing a great job of holding on to it. And so, and the Oroka for that matter. So, could you give any advice where I could learn to fly more realistically in the flight simulator, like properly using the autopilot? Costas, if you're talking about the Airbus in general, of course, man. I've got, and I want to add more. So let's just get into it now. There's something I want to talk to you guys about, but Costas, to answer your question. Yes, the Airbus Pilot Series, I haven't added anything in a while, but the Pilot Series on my channel is more like offhand things that we do in real life that you don't really do in simulation. So I have and they're old videos, they may be a little bit cringy, I might not have a good microphone back then, so bear with me, but I did a ground start with no APU bleed, I did a single engine taxi video, and I think I did an ILS Cat 3 auto land. So there's a couple in there that I've done. But I want to update those as well as a professional series. So here's the thing. The problem with our temporary home, our temporary apartment home, is I am unsure of the possibility of being able to stream from that apartment. Now I don't know. I'm not saying that it's done for when we're there, but what I'm saying is I don't know if we're going to have the available bandwidth on upload speed to produce streams for you guys. Whoa. So with that being said, what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be kind of reverting back to how this channel first got started, and that was with pre-recorded videos, instructional videos. I'm still going to do my members podcast, my members only podcast. I may even do more than one a month, or I'm coming up with some fun ideas that I can do in the meantime if I'm not able to stream for you guys. So I'm still coming up with some ideas, and one of them is to redo and re-update a lot of the stuff that's already on the channel, such as the Flight Factor versus Tolless videos, such as the Professional series, finishing the Citation series. So those are all things that I might be working on here if I'm unable to stream for you guys. I definitely still want to connect with my members through podcast and some, maybe not quite daily update vlogs, but I've had some ideas of picking a flight from real world that has happened to me in that month and then doing an exclusive video just for my members mimicking that flight. So let's say I do a real world flight where we have, an in-op generator and no APU bleed or something like that, and it's a pain in the butt, right? Recreate that in the sim, talk about all the problems of that, and then upload that and have that just for my members. So there's options out there,
Contact Seattle
but
Center,
I cannot guarantee you guys, I cannot promise that I will be able to stream when we're in our temporary apartment. Now, if there is any way possible that I can stream, you bet I will find a way to do it.
135.15.
135.15 for United 522.
Number 72 Tango Alpha Seattle Center.
135.15? I'm going to wait till he starts talking before I flip the switch here.
Actually, one moment.
I think it's still there. Center, good evening, United 522, level 360.
Number 923 Whiskey Echo, Flagstaff
Rip.
Tower, runway 21, clear to land. And wind now 210 at 18, gust.
Daniel says, planning on flying the Zebo soon? Maybe, man. Maybe.
And 522 Seattle Center, Roger.
The only problem I have with
Alpha, Seattle Center's clear
the
McNamara
Zebo, and this is the
via
best,
line
this
two.
is the good problem to have. Man, we're getting rocked out. I'm going to go ahead and
257.
turn the seatbelts on back on.
filed.
The only
Climb
problem
and
with
maintain
Zebo is it updates so frequently
Center frequency
that when you don't fly that
121.4,
airplane
squawk
for
7141,
a week,
hold
you're
for
about
release.
10 updates out of date. So that's the only problem, which is the best problem to have. I wish there were developers that had that same. We had the same problem with other developers. Do you need a separate license for the A318? Leonidas, that I don't know. I honestly don't know. I tell you that I don't have an A318 rating. I don't think. I have to look at the back of my certificate. I'm pretty sure it only says 19, 20, and 21. So if it was a common type, I'm sure it would be on there. This is actually bad. I'm almost positive it doesn't say A318 on the back of my certificate. I'd have to look. Username unknown says, I'm a controller in the VAT Sim Brazil. Literally made me appreciate the patience of both real and virtual controllers. Yep, you bet it. Ooh, what do we got coming up here? Let's go outside real quick. Oh, that is the shot right there. Look at the mountain peeking through the clouds. I love Orbix. Costa says, I'll check those videos out. Thank you. Awesome, Costas. Yeah, and like I said, man, I hope to introduce more of them and maybe update some of the ones that I have. Jacob says, I'm sitting on my pilot edge trial, waiting until I have the energy and confidence to start there. You can do it, Jacob. You can do it, man. Just got to muster up that courage and go for it. Just now, 560 SAS pilots are getting fired. Oh, boy. I'm assuming that's COVID related, right? No bueno, man. No bueno. That's why I am blessed and extremely grateful that I am able to say that I'm going back to work. I mean, it's like a it's like a significant other, right? Is you don't know what you have until it's gone. And a job, in a lot of ways, is kind of the same, where you may end up, you may end up not realizing how great it was until it's gone. And I've kind of got a taste of that with being on, I was never officially furloughed, but just taking voluntary leave to mitigate furloughs and stuff. Nincom says I don't even update the Zebo because there's too many updates. Yeah. Brian Harris says, V, we'll need to find you an AWACS uplink so you may be able to stream from the apartment. Have a great week, Captain. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Victor 27. Jeremy says, I just read the NTSB investigators must have commercial pilot's license. I'm so upset. Do they really? I didn't. I was not aware of that.
Climb and maintain 3,000. Expect 4,000 within 5 minutes of departure.
Jeremy, don't be too upset. I'm sure there might be. There's got to be some other aspects in the field that don't require a commercial license. Don't just give up on it right there. There may be other aspects in the field that don't require that. Is this the most realistic airplane on X-plane? Nah. I don't know, man. I'm not typed in the Boeing, so I don't know how much it does right and how much it does wrong. Flight Dick to Sim would be the guy to ask on that one because he is your Boeing guy. I think the most realistic airplane honestly would be
1720 Papa NorCal approach, Roger, thanks.
honestly probably probably the Zebo or one of the Airbuses or a Rep Baron, like the Reality Expansion Pack aircraft, where you really have to manage your magnetos, or the TBM. How can I forget the TBM? Or the FlyJ Sim. There you go. There's like 4 or 5 airplanes that I think are more realistic. I don't know about this one. This one is up there, but I know it has VNAV problems still, and I know it's still working on some other things. So it may make its way to the top of the list. But X-Plane 1972, fellow streamer, good buddy that I always hang out with on his streams over there. He says it the best. He classifies there's 2 types of airplanes in X-Plane. You have fun planes that are just fun to fly, and then you have your study level airplanes that really encapsulate true realism. So I would put, I would put the Jar Design A330 in the fun category, and some of the Coronado stuff in the fun category. But the ones that are study level, I would say this is study level. I would definitely say this is study level. I'm not the guy to ask if it is how realistic it is, because I don't know all the nuances of loans.
Seattle Center, Baron 72 Tango Alpha, climbing through 2,700 for 5,000.
Let's see. Swarm says, in my opinion, Zebra should only update once a week with a bigger update at a time. But I'm not a dev, so yeah. Yeah, maybe
Seattle Center at our contact
minimize them.
South of the North Bend VORs. Verify again.
Uh-oh, Carter says Pratt & Whitney reverser images for you in Discord. Carter, you're going to make me pull up Discord again? I've definitely got to check this out.
We're 2 Tango Alpha, North Bend, altimeter 3003.
Talk to me, Carter. It's got to be in the Neo... What? Fake news, Carter. I don't see him. Oh, I see him. It's in the liveries. Rip livery thread. Wow, nice shots, Carter. Carter, you are an artist, my friend. You are an artist, dude. I cannot wait.
VFR climb is
I cannot wait for those, dude.
And the San Jose altimeter is 2976.
Those looks great. Those look great, dude. Are you... Did I notice a big performance cut when your PC from ORBX to Fork Boy? Honestly, no, not at all yet. We're still getting... I'm streaming right now at 33 FPS. That's pretty good. It's a shame we can't see what's going on down there, but... if I can stay above 30s while streaming, I'm happy. I'm happy. So, I think Fork Boy, honestly, it hasn't been noticeable. There may be a few, 3 or 4 FPS difference. I mean, there we go. Excuse me, up to 34 there for a minute. So, and clouds take a lot of frames out too. We got a lot of clouds in the frame. But ORBX does have the the SD version as well, which so my Oregon is gonna be in SD. So we'll have to see if you can see the difference. We've done a little bit of California, and we're gonna see if you can tell the difference in the SD version of the Oregon ORBX. And from what I understand is they just they changed some of the resolutions, but you can still have maximum objects in it, so it is really comparable to the HD version, but it's about a fraction of the size on your hard drive or SSD as well. I think it's only 60 versus 200 or 160. But you guys will have to be the judge of that when we get into Portland here. Carter says the info on what they're planning to do for the failure maintenance systems coming in the Q400 and then added it to the 7.2 sounds like it's going to be interesting. Okay, so I'm going to have to read up on that. I'm not exactly sure what they were planning for that. Flight Pass says, I have a very important question. I'm currently doing my flight training, but I'm worried that air travel is getting automated with all these single pilot aircraft concepts. Flight Path, I don't know. Honestly, I think we'll see, we're going to start seeing single pilot ops in cargo first. That'll definitely be, the cargo operators will be the first to go to single pilot operations. I still think it's a while off because there's a lot of things that need to be in place for them to start wiping pilots out. I don't know, man. It's a tough call, but here's the thing. If you're passionate about it, if you're in a position to do it, then there is no time like the present. Now, it's not the best time because of this whole coronavirus thing going on, but this too will pass. I firmly believe that this too will pass. So you just, if it's something that is in your blood and you just need to do it, then get on it. Because when it does pass, in my belief, when it does, if you're in a position ready to go to get a job, you're going to be first in line. You don't want to wait, 6 months, 8 months, 2 years, whatever it is, and then realize, oh my gosh, the industry's totally recovered. I want to be a pilot now, because everyone's going to be thinking that, right? And then they're going to have a huge influx, and it's a wave pattern, right? There's ups and downs. I've said it before. The industry is never good, never bad, but it is always changing. And it is a ride just like an airplane flight. You take off, there's ups and there's downs. And at the end of the day, nobody knows what decisions they make are going to be the right decisions for their career or bad decisions for their career until we set the parking brake for the last time.
Descend via the Timbers to arrival, Portland, altimeter 299er. They are landing west as of now.
All right, descend via the Timbers 2999 and landing west for United 522. Oh boy, we got to do some work now. So that's kind of, like I said, no time like the present, man. And just get, if it's in your blood, man, go after it.
Sierra Papa, thank you. Radar
Portland, they are landing west still, so 28 left, 2999 in the box. We have a descend via. So this always scares me. So let's go ahead and set up the Timbers 2 RNAV. We're coming in from Machu, Moxie at or above 240. Legs plan here. There's 240 or above. Timbers at or above 11. 270 knots. It's in the box. Vance 250, 15 and 11. That's there. Flower 9 and 7. That's there. And then we're going to Winmer 210 at 5. That's there. 210 at 5. That's the bottom altitude. So I'm going to go ahead and set 5,000 feet. Oh my goodness. Is there an easier way to do that? I guess not. Let me just, don't mind me. I'm going to sit here and scroll this wheel for a couple minutes. 5,000 feet
Expect runway 30
set.
left, report the airport in sight.
Now, maybe one of you guys can help me out in chat here. Will VNAV work? Can I just be a true Boeing pilot and set it and forget it? So now that I have 5,000 set, I'm in LNAV and VNAV. Will the airplane automatically start down? Or am I going to have to preemptively start it with a vertical speed or something? One of you guys, if you could help me out in chat, be very much appreciated. Let's finish the rest of our init here. We're going to land flaps 30, which is 142 for 2/8. Let's go back, approach. Maybe we'll get 28 left. And 28 left is 110.5, 110.5, 283 on the approach course. So we got to jump down here. And 200 is set there in the DH. Now, where's the... There we go. 110.5. 110.5. 110.5. 110.5 set twice, confirmed. And final approach course is 283 degrees. Hoping I did that right. Yes, I am good. All right. So everyone who says that, man, Airbus, you do nothing. Frickin' A. Well, Boeing, you do nothing. Man, you set it and forget it.
Number 2 Sierra Pop, thank you. Contact San Jose Tower 124.0. Good day.
Mateo Chewy says, how do you deal with medical issues with single pilot config? I mean, the actual pilot getting ill. Mateo, and that's like I said, that's another big hurdle. So Dougal says, I think single pilot ops is well over a decade away. Exactly. And that's the thing is in order for them to get a single pilot operation, there's going to have to be some type of multi-connection, right? You're going to have some type of guy on the ground in a simulator, kind of how they fly drones. This is my assumption anyway, working with the pilot. So maybe the guy that's on the ground, he is dispatched, be like the next generation of dispatchers. So maybe he's in control of 3 or 4 airplanes. He can take control if he needs to of any of the 3 or 4 airplanes that he's working with. He does the dispatching, he does the flight planning, or he does the weather and route checks and all that stuff. And basically the guy up front in the airplane is just there for backup reasons. That would be my assumption in how it would work, how you would transition from being multi-crew to single.
550 Lima, Seattle grounds, runway.
But I still think it's a ways away.
It'll be runway 34
I still think it's a ways away.
Taxi via Quebec and Romeo.
When you start seeing that happen with Freight and Amazon, then it might be reason to be
American
like,
130, Phoenix ground, runway 8, taxi via Charlotte.
Tom, descent it will. All right. You can set it and it will start down. Cool. Don't use VNAV with the IXEG. It can backfire badly. Jump and run. I'm fully prepared for backfire. I'm going to put those flames out with some bourbon, so we should be good to go.
416 transponders on. I'm not seeing you.
Jeremy Harvey says enter the lowest altitude on star and then use the descend now feature in the FMC. All right, so if it doesn't start down, I'll force it down with descend now. We got 5,000 set, 210 knots. You know what's funny is I think I realized the last time I violated, no, was it Portland? I got violated going into Portland because we did the wrong star transition on the early version of the TOLUS.
Hold short of runway 7 right at Hotel 1.
That's what it was. And I think it was with the same controller as well. This guy's probably like, man, you're going to test your luck again? That was with the early version of the TOLUS where we updated the runway and it didn't change the transition. And that was my fault. That was me just
Skybat 60, 24.
Not paying attention. Look at this, is really cool here, this livery. I mean, that's that jet bridge door I told you guys about on the Airbus. So you got these lines here. This is a really impressive livery. I wish I don't have a link for it. Let me see if I can get a link for it. I don't know if any of you guys want it or not. But this livery is
about 60, 24, runway 8.
It's really well done.
Takeoff, wind, variable 3.
United Battleship Gray, IXEG 733. There we go. 346 Uniform Alpha. If you guys want this livery. There we go. I don't know if anybody even wants it, but I'm fairly impressed by it. Who is the creator? By S85 Skater. S85 Skater, man. Good work, dude. Dougal says, put flames out with bourbon. Really? Bye. Dougal, what you doing still up, my man? Dougal, again, man, I'm bummed. I'm sorry I cannot participate in the group flight on Saturday. If you guys are interested in group flying, definitely check out the SimWings project. I know they're doing a group flight. Great cause. Great project by Dougal. But just timing, man, timing. Here I am off for 3 months, and you picked the one day where we're moving. Unacceptable. Dylan says, gonna have to head out for a bit. I'll watch the rest later on. Cheers to the awesome stream. Thank you, man. Have a good one, Dylan. Are you using default cloud? This is XP, Active Sky XP, whatever it is, Active Sky XP. I got violated going into Portland. Yeah, we got violated pretty good. Well, I say violated. I mean, I don't even know. Did they violate you on Pilot Edge? It was definitely a no-no. It was one of those bleep moments where there I was trying to show you guys how to fly professionally, and we just flew the wrong transition. That cockpit looks kind of old school. How old is this boy? It's pretty old. I don't know. Are there any 300s still flying? I know Southwest retired all of theirs. I'm sure they're still flying somewhere. 1980s-ish, probably, Dougal says. Jeremy says, VNAV is buggy in the real jet. If something is quirky in a real plane, it should also be weird in simulation. Totally agree, man. Totally agree. I like that quirkiness. That's kind of what, and the Airbuses that we have do pretty good. I mean, the 320, if you fly the Flight Factor 320 and then you fly the TOLUS 319 or even the 321, the flight factor is much harder to slow down, and sometimes in a VNAV descent it'll screw you because it'll try to slow down and then you get high on profile. And that's true to real life. The real airplane will do that to you. So it's nice to see that happen, especially on the 320, because the 320 is just that configuration, a little bit slicker, a little harder to slow down. Dougal says, next one, brother. You got it, man. You got it. And I'm also bummed, Dougal, because it's the C90. I love the King Air, man.
Number 50 Lima, contact departure.
Rusty says, funny how the doorway is so dirty, but the cowlings look straight out of the factory. I know, it is kind of interesting, right? Those cowlings are shiny. What is the Portland weather? Let me pull it up here on Pilot Edge. I'm sure glad we have ORBX scenery to look at down there.
Number 550 Lima, Phoenix correction, Seattle departure. Thank you.
Few clouds at 4,000, scattered at 250.
County 258, heavy runway 7 left, cleared.
This doesn't look very scattered to me. Let me zoom around. Yeah, this is definitely not scattered. This is definitely not scattered. All right, so you gave me a top of D or a descend via. We're not even the Moxie yet, so we're still good.
Turn left, heading 210.
We are still good. What's our fuel on board? We're getting a little tight on gas. What's our landing fuel? Isn't it supposed to have landing fuel here? 6.7?
130 Phoenix Tower, hold short runway 8 for en route spacing.
That's what we have right now is 6.7.
What's Tango Alpha, advising you have the weather down at Crescent City.
72 Tango Alpha, advice.
Trying to see where our landing fuel would be. At Portal, we're showing 5.3. Huh. 278, 71. At least it died down about 30 knots there on the wind. This ought to be interesting to test this VNAV out with a 70 knot crosswind. Yep, some 300 airplanes flying here in the UK. Oh, nice. So, Aer Lingus, awesome. Yeah, so they're definitely still flying around. Seatback Pocket says it was the aircrew violation, what not to do. Case study 02. Yes, definitely, man. And a matter of fact, that's another one, another series that I want to get up to speed as well. I think there's some more things I want to do, and I may incorporate some other incidents that have happened also in real life and kind of talk about them with you guys. I think it would be a fun aspect of the channel. These are all ideas that I can do.
72 Tango Alpha, we have the Crescent City weather.
If I'm not able to stream. So, yeah, definitely, yeah, what not to do. Don't do what I did on that one. Flight Pass says, do you know how I can get flight hours fast and cheap after flight training? Flying cargo, man. Find a cargo outfit that that nobody wants to work for. Because that's how you're going to get paid to fly those. Or be an instructor, so... Uh-oh.
258 heavy, Phoenix departure radar contact.
Sorry, Spags. You got a little, you got spanked there by Nightbot. No worries. He said some 200 flying in Canada with the gravel kit.
Skywest 6024, contact
yes, sir.
Albuquerque Center 134.32.
Have you flown to my home airport in Detroit? Absolutely, all the time, man. Do quite a bit of Detroit flying. I don't mind it in the summertime. It's in the wintertime that I don't like going into Detroit. I have a funny story about Detroit. I'll probably tell you guys on the After Dark podcast one of these days. But basically, there was a major storm in Detroit, and we had an unruly passenger, and ramp was shut down. So that's a story for the podcast.
Roger, climb maintain flight level 320. 320, Skywest 6024.
Flight Pass says the hour building packages at my local flight school use a different aircraft than the one I'm training on. Do I need additional training? It'll depend on what airplane it is. I'm sure it'll depend on which airplane it is. You may need to get checked out in it or something.
Victor to the ramp, my frequency.
Flyby sound is still there, but I gotta say,
Two Sierra Papa, you're on Oakland Tower frequency for some silly
disappointed reason. With all of the other sounds. I will have to try the F-Mod pack next.
America 130 or my 8.
Flyby sound is still good, but I do like this head-on shot that we were doing a while ago. Let me get back to that head-on shot. Just like that. I mean, I think that looks pretty nice. Just a wee bit to the right.
Or 20 Papa.
Looks so good without those
straight ahead Delta
winglets
Victor
on there. Brad Swag 650, what's up, man? He said just slammed my 738 into Baltimore. Ooh, so I can feel, better as a pilot. What are things you value on a landing? Brad Swag.
Charlie Victor,
in all honesty, man, if you put it down in the touchdown zone and you don't get a load 15 report, that's what we call them. A load 15 report is a hard landing report. If you experience a certain amount of G loading on the airplane, it will automatically print the report out, and that's a maintenance write-up. So as long as you are in the touchdown zone and you get off the runway, and you don't go over the end of the runway, and you don't have a load 15 report, it's just another day. It's just another day at the office, my friend. You may keep the cockpit door shut for a while, or if I'm feeling savage, I may tell the other guy to go stand outside there in the cockpit door and say goodbye to the passengers. But that's only if I'm in a bad mood or if I don't like them. But nah, man, it's just another day at the office, man. They're not all butters. And in real life, honestly, yeah, we try to get smooth landings, but we're focused on legal landings because legality is what matters in real life. Legality and safety. Any landing you can limp away from is a good one. Hey, if you can use the plane again. I'll tell you what, man, I've had some really hard... If you guys have a hard landing, don't feel bad, because I've had some hard ones. I remember I had one of my hardest landings when I was learning how to do short field landings in a Piper Arrow? I think it was an Arrow. My goodness. I literally... First of all, my instructor, I was a flight student. I was doing my commercial training, my commercial single. And my instructor, first thing he said was, okay, well, he said the Eagle has landed. And then he was like, well, the struts aren't through the wings, so that's good. So I didn't put the struts through the wings. And the gear retracted on the subsequent touch and go. So no harm, no foul. He didn't let that one go for a while, though. He said, I got to call the chiropractor. For the next month, it was, man, my back still hurts. And it happens, man. It was hard. I mean, what happened was I got frustrated that I kept missing my mark. So on short field landing practice, you have to land on a spot plus or minus, oh gosh, I don't remember the PTS standard. It's 100 feet or something. So essentially you pick a marker in the touchdown zone, whether it's the aiming markers, which is the most common, the solid white boxes, right? Or the numbers, or the threshold, whatever you pick, you have to land on it. If you don't land on it, you fail. And on a check ride, you can't fail it. So, Dimitri says, I would watch the VNAV like a hawk. It's not reliable at all. Last thing you want is get 3,000 feet high. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check on it, man. So, I forgot where I was going with that. That's suburban for you. Anyway, let's watch the VNAV. I was talking about my short field landing. So yeah, I missed my mark about, I don't know, 3 times in a row. We were going for the numbers. And I was long every single time. So on, I think it was like the 4th attempt, I said, you know what? I'm not going to be long. 50 feet, chop the power. And if anybody's flown an Arrow or an Archer, you know that thing does not glide, especially in the landing configuration. There is no gliding. It's a controlled crash. When you do your power off 180 in a Piper Arrow, it is powered idle, start the turn back to the runway, because it's not like a 172 where you just go, all right, count to 10, count to 20 seconds, blah, blah, blah. No, it's powered idle. I'm turning for the runway, and I'm holding on. And I chopped the power 50 feet. That thing dropped, and I mean, just telling you guys the story right now, I kind of get that tense feeling in my stomach where you like that. You just tense up and your butt cheeks get tight because you know you're going to impact. And that landing is stuck with me. I don't even know how many years ago that was. And I still remember, the time of day. We were landing, I think we're southeast bound. The airport was Glendale, Arizona. I think it was Glendale. Yeah, it was Glendale, Arizona. And it was in the evening time, dusk. Yeah. I remember everything about that landing, man. Have I ever busted a check ride? No. That's one thing I've been fortunate. Never busted a check ride, never busted an oral. I've heard smooth landings aren't good for the brakes. Is that true? I don't know about the truth about. I don't know about for the brakes. I know if you're too smooth, sometimes you can mess with the spoiler activation depending on the aircraft. I know the Embraer had that issue if you didn't, because that was more of a weight on wheels versus a proximity sensor like the Airbus has. So if you were too smooth, you'd have a hard time getting the buckets to deploy or the spoilers to come up. Sam says, I've heard from a friend, if you throw a brick out the window of an arrow, that's basically the glide path of the arrow when you cut the power. That is 100% right, Sam. 100% right. Dougal, you said check out these liveries. Wait, let me look at these. Or look at these C90s. Oh, Dougal, I just screwed up my chat. I lost my chat box now. I'll check it after, man. Let me pop out my chat box. YouTube is weird when you're streaming, man. Like, you start clicking on links and stuff, it just it can do some weird things. I'll check it out. I don't know. I did see the SimWings paint job for the C90, which looks freaking awesome. All right, here's top of descent. There's top of descent. Here it comes. Retard. I'm used to being called a retard. That's good. And power's coming back. VNAV path looks good. Let's turn up the sounds. Nice wind sound. And airplane is just beginning to nose over, it looks like. No? Yes? We're slowing down to our deceleration, I guess. Alright, so we're getting ready to go over timbers. What is timbers? Timbers is at or above 11. Or no, portal. Portal is between 24 and 11. 270. Oh boy. Oh boy. Why are we spooling up? I feel like this is not right. Okay. Why don't we just do vertical speed then? I feel like this is not right. I feel like this is not right. I'm starting to panic. Vertical speed. Down. Down, boy! $270 knots. Are we really crossing? Wait a second. Something's not adding up here.
2258. What's your intended cruise Mach number?
Timbers. Well, this is not to scale, obviously. Where was Portal? Was Portal not on our flight
What are you
plane?
doing now?
Right now we're at 84. Oh, it's about 85.
Cruising at 85, climbing at 85?
Yeah.
We get you to knock that back down about 0.74 or less while you're climbing?
Yep, 74 or less now, Connie 258.
Conning is ripping. Okay, yeah, we're high. We're going to go level change. Well, we got to make sure we don't blow through this. At or above 11. Basically, it's at or above 11 for all of this stuff until we get to Winmer.
Number 50 Lima.
Let's go ahead and turn that seatbelt sign on.
Approach from
Oh, it's already on. That's good. Let's do a descent checklist. Pressurization. Oh boy, I think it's.
I'm sorry, it's actually Olympia, not a.
It's not descending.
Or an IAF, so we won't do that. November
Yeah, it is.
50 Lima.
Cabin looks good.
Check that I can.
Recall.
I'll be right back with you, but I do have your request.
Check. Auto brake. We'll do 2. Auto brake 2. Set. VREF is checked. We set that. Approach briefing complete. Altimeters. We will set those here when I get the ATs. So we need to be 270 knots though. Or 250 knots. Yeah, we got. This airplane is. Look at how high we are on the VNAV.
130, contact Albuquerque Center.
Rip.
134.32.
Here comes that pilot deviation. Last I heard was 2999 on the field. Down we go.
Albuquerque Albuquerque Center.
So this is setting up to be one stable
climbing
approach.
through
Oh my, there's
17,000
no way we're gonna make,
American 130, Albuquerque Center.
no way we're making flour at 9. There's no way.
360, good afternoon, 130.
Yeah, Center United 522.
Number 2 Tango off across Sitka.
We're not gonna make flour below 9.
And then clear
Rip.
to the RNAV runway 36 approach.
We're
into maximum
15,000 feet high.
Sitka at 5,000 and then clear.
This ought to be a good radio call.
Tango off.
Here comes the riot act.
6024 contact LA
Now he's
Center
not responding, so now I'm just going to blatantly violate flour. What's our distance to flour?
Yeah,
11 miles.
What happened with the descent?
I guess our VNAV is not quite working there. We're not going to make flour at or below 9.
Yeah, I would assume so. United, United 522. Tell you what, turn left. Heading 180. I expect vectors back timbers. So doing the timbers to arrival.
All right, left turn 180. We'll expect vectors back to timbers. And could you repeat the altitude for United 522?
United 522, descend and maintain flight level 240 now.
Descend and maintain flight level 240, United 522. Rip. Oh, who can scroll faster? 240. Come on, come on, come on. I'm scrolling the mouse wheel like crazy. Come on, baby. You can get there. 27.4. 24. Set. And continue. Left turn. And this doesn't help the scroll wheel support is backwards. Alright, so whoever said whoever said the VNAV worked, y'all a bunch of liars. We're descending to 24. Expect a turn back to timbers. Rip.
Kind 258, best I can do for you is 0.76.
Why is our bank...
Alright, 76 is fine, thanks.
What is up with this? Can't bank more than 10 degrees.
We're 550 Lima at Olympia. Join the 095 radio outbound Micken. Cross Micken at 5,000 and clear the VOR runway 35 approach.
Alright, MCP speed. Level change, 240. Should be 1,000 feet to go. Oh, please level off. For the love of God, please level off. Why are we doing 2,000 feet a minute, 700 feet prior to level off? You can do it. There we go. Altitude acquired. MCP speed. Keep 250. Keep those engines at idle. You don't need to be...
County 258, contact LA Center 124.62 with your speed restriction.
2462 with the speed of the Great Neck County 258.
Later.
That's what happens when you put an Airbus guy in a
522,
Boeing.
Contact Seattle Center 121.4. They'll have lower for you there.
121.4, United 522. One 1.4. That's kind of a weird frequency. Seattle Center, good evening, United 522, level 240, turning left to 180.
United 522, Seattle Center, under descend and maintain 16,000, 41 altimeter 2999er.
Descend and maintain 16,000, 2999, United 522. 16,000. Oh, this freaking airplane, man. I'm no longer allowed to fly this airplane on Pilot Edge. Unless Flight Deck to Sim is in the cockpit with me, because that was no bueno. 299er. Look at the trim wheel ripping. That scares me when I hear that running that far. At least it kept timbers, which is nice. I mean, the Airbus would have cleared this all out. Oh boy. Cardis says it does work in the new version, so I should have updated to 0.31 then. Oh boy. Let me update the weather. Information on Romeo. 10 miles, view at 4,000. No ORBX visible from the tower. Altimeter 2999. What a beautiful day. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. Jeremy says the IXEG is embarrassing me now. Oh man, that's all in fun. Hey, I'd rather be 15,000 feet high on Pilot Edge than in real life. That's for damn sure. Now, fuel is getting a little bit low. We're this is interessante. The VNAV is not to be trusted yet in the sim. I've been using the fixed page for range rings based on the 3x10 profile for target altitude. Works well. Just a droid. That's a great idea. I should have been doing that. Carter Joel, you got it right, man. It's the bourbon. Actually, just finishing up my glass right now. Man, that wasn't even, like, close. Like, hey, you need relief by about 2,000 feet. That was...
And at 522, expect vectors to advance, and you join the Timbers 2 arrival there. Just expect that.
All right, we'll expect vectors to advance, and we'll join Timbers 2 there for United 522. All right, so I have Flower. He's going to vector me to advance, and I'm probably just going to fly in heading mode because I don't know if I can reload the box here. Can I put... So, Flower... I have Flower. I don't want to reload the entire arrival. I might just heading mode it for flight sim purposes, for cinematic purposes. All right, we're through 18, just about. 2,999er is set 1-2, and hopefully the FO set his.
522, turn left, heading 040. When able, proceed direct advance to join the Timbers 2 arrival. Cross advance at or above 11,000, then descend via the Timbers 2 arrival. 41 altimeter 29998.
All right, 040 on the heading. When able, direct advance, cross advance at or above 11,000 from advance, descend via Timbers 2, 29908 for United 522. Oh, that's a mouthful. All right, so left turn 040. Advance at or above 11, so I can go ahead and just continue coming down to 11,000. So 11,000 is set. So this is one of those instances where if something like this happens to you, don't panic, right? So, no, we just got to fly the airplane. He said Vance at 11,000, so I've got 11,000 set. We're going to go all the way to 11. After Vance, we're basically back on the arrival. We got to be below 9 and 7. Now, since VNAV screwed me the first time, fooled me once, it's on you. Fooled me twice, it's on me. So instead of trying to VNAV it again, I'm just going to set the bottom of the window. So this is between 9 and 7. I'm just going to set 7. That way I know I'm at least there. And then I'm going to set 5, and we're just going to flight level change it all the way down. We'll manage the speed. We're already at 250 knots, so it's not like we're super fast. If we were fast, that would be no bueno. Type in Vance manually. Well, we're so close to it. I'm just going to... This is one thing I love about the Boeing, and it might be on my next podcast, is this little turn thingy here. It shows you exactly what is happening. I'm just going to let it fly to Vance, and then I'm going to redirect us to Flower. And we should be good from there. What would happen if you were this high in real life? The controller probably would have said something a ways back, because that was like blatant. And no guarantees, but I would imagine there would have been some communication saying like, United 522, you gonna make that? Or something like that. That would be my guess. Or if we call up United 522, yeah, we can't make Flower at below 9. Like, yeah, you think? And then probably very similar, probably a vector off. You probably have to get a vector off. I could have sped up to help my descent, but it's a little bit hard to do all of that and talk on the radio.
Contact Portland approach 118.42.
118.42 United 522. What? Change controllers. I hope she's the controller for arrival. That way I don't have to be embarrassed the whole way down. Approach, good evening, United 522, 13-4, descending 1000, descending via the Timbers 2 after Vance with information Romeo.
United 522, Portland approach, Portland 8. Landing west, do you have approach request?
Oh yeah, we can do 28 left for United 522.
United 522, expect visual approach, runway 28 left.
We'll expect visual approach 28 left, United 522. Alright, so visual approach 28 left. We're back in nav mode, direct to
Lima report, establish
Flower. And airplane is already trying to screw me, so 9,000. Nope, 7,000.
Between you and Crescent City Airport, report Africa.
Level change.
Airport nose frequency, you're on the ground 122.2.
And I think we're going to be okay here. I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to go a little spoid brake action. Spoid brakes. Rip. Aeromedic says sun is up. Gotta go. Glad I got a stream V1. Thank you. Keep it up. Awesome, man. Sorry I totally screwed that arrival for you. Oh, there's the orbits.
130, contact Los Angeles Center 124.62.
Just tell ATC that you're comfortable. Michael DeCosta says, hey, what's going on, V1? How you doing? I'm doing good, man, other than violating the arrival. I think I'm 2 for 2 for violations flying into Portland on Pilot Edge. I'll probably have to throw this one on the do not do this situation. Is there a speed with Flower? Nope. Alright. Let's go get our lights on. Let's go continuous mode for landing, right? I think. I'm sure you guys will let me know. Out of 10,000, we're 250 knots. We're descending to 7.
Yes, ma'am. We are over the El Nido VOR at 5,500. Inbound with
make sure we do have 7 set. 7 is set. Spoid brakes with you.
3734 Alpha Whiskey, squawk 1245 at Ant.
This is Pilot Edge. This is Pilot Edge, man. What would you say is harder to learn to fly with, a glider or an ultralight plane? Some say it's a glider because you have to look into weather more. That's tough. I don't know. A glider, there is a lot you have to be aware of with energy management, but a light aircraft, same thing, man. You're so easily blown around. What's the outside air temperature? Where's the outside air temperature in this thing? It's free. Let's just use it. Get a little bit of rain, it looks like. A little bit of rain. 8 for 7,000 to go. After Flower, we're going to reduce speed to 210 knots.
Over El Nido, VOR.
Flight pass says, V1, what would be a scenario where you would not use this autoland except if the airport is not equipped with it, of course, where you would not use ILS autoland? What do you mean? You always try to use the most accurate approach. So if there's an ILS approach available to a runway, you want to use that one. Like, you're not going to just do an RNAV because you feel like it. You're always going to load in what gets you down the lowest for worst case scenario, right? Because you never know, weather changes. Sometimes it may not be what it's being reported, and it's better to be set up.
22 Portland Airport is just off your left of your 12 o'clock is your turn in, probably about your 11 o'clock now in 20 miles. Let me know when you have it in sight.
For United 522, I don't know if it's my weather's acting up, but we're on top of looks like a broken layer here. I don't think we're going to be able to see it.
United 522, tell you what, fly heading 040 to maintain 3,500.
Right, 040 on the heading, descend to maintain 3,500, United 522. Yeah, I think my weather is acting up. It'll probably reload as soon as we get on the ground. 3,500 feet, level change. Void brakes. I'm just getting down.
3558 uniform,
Let's turn the
Albuquerque Center.
terrain on. Oops. There we go. Alright, TAA on above 10. Okay, so it must be above 10.
United 522, reduce speed to 210.
Reduce speed 210 knots, United 522. Slow down, go down, get violated. Here we go, 210 knots. That's going to be hard to do. Let's see how the Boeing does it. In the Airbus right now, you'd be struggling. What's our slat extend speed? 230. Basically 225 to flaps 5. There's 230, flaps 1. 225, we'll go flaps 5. Get some drag out there. At 210, we can do flaps 10. But I don't want to overspeed it, so we'll just leave it. Mateo Chewy, welcome to Private Pilot, man. Welcome to the channel, Mateo! Exclamation point, welcome for more perks on the channel. Thank you so much, man. Positive rates in chat for a new member. Appreciate that, my friend.
Our cancellation is received. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, I don't know what our weather must be acting up for sure.
United 522, the airport is just about off your 9 o'clock now and 13 miles.
And we're still looking for it, United 522. Come on, baby. I think we're at the base of the clouds. Rip. Oh, now Active Sky is going to get me in trouble. Oh, there we go. Airport site, United 522.
United 522, cleavage approach, runway 28 left, establish final contact tower.
All right, cleavage approach 28 left on the final, United 522 over to tower. We'll see it. Oh my goodness, that was sketchy. And the tower is going to be 28 left, 2377. Yeah, this is, I really got to get a radio panel because this definitely is a lot of work when you can't use your hands to change the radio frequencies. I'm going to come back to 180 as well. Hold the phone there, Mr. Boeing. Plus the scroll wheel support is opposite of any aircraft ever. I know that's been updated. So not IXEG's fault. Oh boy, this was a lot of work. Let's go Hannah, execute, LNAV, and actually, where's the approach button? There we go. And 3,500, no, what's Hannah? I'm sure it's lower than that, 2,900 feet. Flaps 15. Speed brake armed. Tower is 18. What is it? Oh no, it's 2377, so we're on tower. She wants me to call established. And you're not descending. So we are going to turn everything off and just hand fly this thing like it's meant to be hand flown, right? Portland Tower, good evening, United 522 on the visual 28 left.
United 522, Portland Tower, runway 28 left, clear to land, wind 30012.
28 left, clear to land, United 522. Alright, so don't do this at home. I called for the visual approach. I'm going into the clouds. I'm getting on the ILS though.
Is established inbound on the VOR 35.
Sometimes we just got to do things that aren't strictly legal. And explain. That would be legal in real life.
Lima, thank you. Contact Olympia Tower.
But let's hand fly it.
Over to tower, 5 hours in.
There she is. A little bit high. Let's get back on profile. Get that off there. What is our nit ref? 142. 142. So we're on VREF. We're down to land. Clear to land. We just got to come down a little bit. We're a little high. Dougal says, once you have a radio panel, you wonder why you didn't get it years ago. I'm already wondering, man.
Runway 35, clear to land.
Don't mind my sync rate of 1,500 feet a minute. We're just catching up to the glide slope here. Beautiful approach there on the lighting, though. Too bad we couldn't see into the ORBX. Probably should do a checklist. Landing checks, cabin call done. Start switches continuous there. Speed brakes arm, landing gear down 3, green flaps set 30 and indicating. Yes, sir. Landing checklist complete. Adjust my view just a little bit. Man, we're still high, huh? Let's go ahead and pick up that descent rate just a little bit more. There we go. That's where we want to be. I missed my bird. I missed my bird. Pitch and power, man. Old school. Some guys hate the bird. Some guys love the bird. Personally, I love the bird. But the attitude indicator does the same thing. You just got to know. Pretty much resting that right about 2.5 degrees there on the horizon. It seems to be working all right. Getting a little bit low. Getting a lot of bit low. Stable. Report on United 522. Just confirm we're clear to land 2-8 left.
United 522, affirmative. Clear to land, runway 28.
Clear to land 2-8 left, United 522. Thank you. When in doubt, ask. I probably should have went 2-8 right. We get to see a little bit more of the airport on this one here. Whoa, 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 with the glide slope there. Nice quartering tailwind, gotta love that. Ryanair landing. My goal is frozen butter. So frozen butter is between 175 and 250 is a frozen butter.
400.
175 and 250. I think that's a frozen butter. Ooh, a little bit high. I'm all over this glide slope. I don't know if it's the bourbon or my hand flying skills. Hopefully it's the bourbon.
Minimum. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Come on, where are you at? Oh, baby, we will take that one. A little bit of float there for sure. I think we barely nabbed that last touchdown marker. That was a float factor 2.0 right there. Whew. Tell you what, that went from just chilling and cruise to frantically panicking last 10 minutes of that approach. I have no idea where we're parking. Okay, off. Oh, we'll try to ground that. That's not good. And we need to call ground. Before I call ground, though, let's...
United 522, taxi to terminal via Bravo, Mike, Tango, cross runway 21 at Mike, and monitor ground. Have a wonderful day.
Bravo Mike Tango, cleared across runway 21 and monitor ground, United 522. Thank you. Good day. BMT, cleared across 21. Monitor ground.
Alpha Whiskey, Fresno Airport in sight at 12 o'clock and 8 miles.
21.9er, we can do that.
Whiskey looking.
21.9. I want to see that landing on replay though, because I feel like we were so close to a good landing.
Airport in sight.
Whoa, we're also close to
Alpha Whiskey, thank
paying
you.
for some
Contact
taxi
Tower
lights.
118.2.
We were close to a really good landing there.
Station Airport Whiskey.
I don't know if I was a little high. I think I came in high. I was high on that approach close in. That was a terribly flown hand flown ILS in my book. Were you in the zone? It should be an interesting loop play. Dimitri, it'll be close, man. We may have nabbed that last one. We might have.
Left downwind for runway 29.
For all my pilots that are out there training, and even for you guys in sim, this advice, it is so true. An unstable approach will lead to an unstable landing. 99.9% of the time, a stable approach will end up to a stable landing. That was a very, I mean, it may have looked okay, but that was a very unstable approach. I was low on the glide slope, and then I got high on the glide slope, and I carried that high on the glide slope. You saw me come in over the threshold, 3 whites there, which, I mean, I guess if you're going to be wrong in one direction, it's better to be high than low, but I came in 3 whites over the threshold, so now I'm behind the 8 ball of getting down in the touchdown zone, and you saw how we barely, I don't even know. I think we nabbed it. I think we nabbed the last one. But we'll see. Cleared across 2-1, lights are on. Let's go ahead and get the poo fired up. But yeah, unstable approach, unstable landing there. Even though it was a butter. Yeah, Dimitri says he came in way high over the threshold. Yeah, I was probably 75 feet high. I was 3 whites for sure. We're just going to go straight into the middle of the terminal here.
Olympia ground is spinning at the 550 Lima off the active 35 at Foxtrot, taxi to the terminal.
Especially with a wet runway too, you don't want to be messing around with landing wrong.
Have a wonderful day.
Cross 26 at Foxtrot, taxi to terminal 501, thanks.
Bravo Mike Tango, we're going straight in here. We'll just take
58 uniform contact Phoenix
take this next turn right here.
133.57.
Go ahead and feather engine 2.
58 uniform confirmed 133.57, 3357.
Pretty decent spool down sound there. Alright, where's my... I think I'm left of the center line. I don't trust this guy. He doesn't know I've been drinking.
Experimental 3550 from level 1000.
3558 uniform.
We'll do a
Phoenix
southwest
approach,
parking job.
Altimeter
We'll just go ahead and smash the brakes here.
Correction. Wrong. Prescott altimeter 3003.
3003, 5 from.
Brake set. APU is available.
2600 Tango, Seattle Center, clear to Walla Walla
Engine
Airport
1.
as filed. Maintain 12000, expect flight level 210, 10 minutes after departure. Seattle Center frequency 126.
I want to see this spool down here. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Oni says it was entertaining for us. Awesome, man. It was definitely entertaining. I had to work there. I definitely had to work at the end. Let's see. That's already on the APU bus, right? No, it should be on. Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's disconnect from Pilot Edge and take a look at that replay. I'm going to throw you guys into a replay mode. And let's see how that turned out. How about that Orbix, though? How about that? Mr. X, or this is FlightBeam. This is FlightBeam Portland. FlightBeam. D. Eris is a DC era. Nice, man. Like the name. Thanks for bringing us in safe to cap. You got it, man. Safety is our #1 priority here at V1 Simulations. Only second to making sure that you have enough bourbon. Welcome to Portland, my hometown. Enjoy the Voodoo Donuts. Warren Huckabee. I love Voodoo Donuts, man. The hotel we used to stay at was not too far of a walk. And trust me, I would get a box. I'd get some for the flight attendants. I'd get some. I say I get some for the flight attendants. That's just an excuse for me to eat more of them. I normally eat about 5 or 6 of them. I love them, dude. They're really good. What scene are you using? This is ORBX SD. So you guys let me know what you think. This is the SD version. Get a weird little stutter there and replay a little bit. But this is the SD version of Portland. So you guys saw some HD San Diego, but this, the SD version is really good if you're limited on space. I mean, look at the autogen is still spot on. And this is, we're flying into the FlightBeam PDX. Aaron Hastings says, how strongly do ADC and pilots adhere to that tree and life pronunciation? I'd say about 30% of the time you hear them. In my experience, about 30% of the time you hear the tree and fife. You hear fife more than tree. Cheers, Milltown. Appreciate it, bud. Cam321 says, new to the sim world, when you use a headset in the PTT only for ATC, yes, when you're using a headset, push to talk is for air traffic control. Now the Airbus has an intercom function where you can talk to each other under headset with a hot mic. Now Boeing, I believe you have to press the intercom lever down. Another weird design. I mean, this looks pretty nice coming in here. Selp says, Airbus is juicy. Thanks for the great stream. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Ooh, buddy. That's about as close as it gets. I want to see real quick here this touchdown. I do love the wings on the IXEG. I love these dirty wings. See these spoilers pop up here. Oh yeah. Nice rattle sound. Oh yeah. I'm digging it. Alright, let's back it up. Let's see from the runway view what we did here. High over the threshold. Let's watch the touchdown. Oh, we're not going to be able to see it because of the rain effects. Center line is good. And down. Oh my goodness. We are legal. Dimitri? That's about as close as it gets to legal. Technically the wheels are past it, but I mean, hey. We're down. Not terrible on the center line. Not terrible on the center line. Let's watch another one from like this angle right here. Nice sounds though. Chico says, I just updated the HD version with SoCal. Nice, man. Yeah, I've got the HD SoCal, dude. It's hard to, it's so good. It's so good, Gio. You're gonna love it, man. Man, let's check out a tower view real quick. Look at this airport. How beautiful is this airport? I love flying into Portland, and I mean the airport's just nicely laid out. I kind of like the way Portland is, the airport layout, and it's fun. It's a fun little airport to fly in and out of, and FlightBeam did a great job with it. So they got that going for them. All right, guys. Time to wrap it up. Reverse shear texturing modeling is pretty good on the bird. Definitely, man. Here comes the V1 Express. Just nabbing that Oh, did we disconnect from Pilot Edge? Okay, yeah, we did. Whew. That's my sign to get off. Mods, sponsors, donors, thank you so much being part of this channel. It's going to be a little interesting here the next couple weeks, next couple months. I've got a podcast coming out here for you. Hopefully tomorrow I will release it. For all my members, it's going to have a little bit more information of the rest of this channel and kind of what's going to be happening here. I'm hoping I'll see you guys on Sunday. I'm really going to try to make time for it. But if not, I hope you guys stay healthy, stay safe, stay flight simming. And until next time, keep the silver side up. I'm V1. See ya!